Yo, salute. Here to do a quick one tonight, man. Got some work to do, but here to do a little update, man. Talk about a few things, man, with this Knicks squad. PJ Tucker being signed to a 10-day contract. Does that mean absolutely anything? Anything within the context of what this team is going through? Obviously, Jalen Brunson being out. Doesn't mean absolutely anything. Some things I've seen in the last game I liked against the Clippers, despite the fact that we still lost. There may have been some bright spots that may come in the form of Mikal Bridges. Gonna talk about a little bit, but and what the hell is next for Tibbs, man? My brother Darcy's supposed to be joining me. I do have a presentation I'm working on or preparing for. Excuse me, it's all done, but preparing to present this tomorrow. So this is not gonna be a very long show, but just want to tap in with you guys. But yeah, man, we got a few things to talk about. So obviously, by the way, freaking Josh Allen just got signed to a $250 million guaranteed contract. God, why couldn't you make me good at any of these damn sports to the fact that to the point I can get paid 250 million guaranteed? $250 million guaranteed. I understand he's a quarterback, right? You understand, bro? Like, take half of that. Take half of that. 125, right? So I'm not even talking about performance, bonuses, incentives, none of that. Take half of that, and then take the half of that 125, and just throw that into some savings. Take the other half, cut that into another half, put that into a high interest rate, a relative not high interest rate, but a mid decent interest rate savings account. Take the remaining half I just told you about, put that into some type of checkings. You can't go broke unless you're dumb enough to sign one of these get married without a prenup to protect you, or you're just a reckless piece of hot garbage. A reckless piece of hot garbage, bro. You cannot go broke. But Josh Allen too. Bum ass Bills doing this in my freaking and of course Devontae Adams just signed with the damn Rams. So it's Jets team. I think we're just gonna get yeah man from the Steelers quarterback, Ohio State quarterback. Just have him run out the pocket, make one read, and run out the pocket. If Garrett Wilson ain't open, just run and go. But damn, son, I'm so depressed hearing that. Not that I'm jealous of him, but it's just damn 250 million, 250 million. Oh, oh man, these guys are blessed. These guys are blessed. Let's talk about man PJ Tucker being signed to a 10-day contract by the New York Knicks. Now this is a guy who hasn't played a game all season, a regular season game all season. Um, I don't really care for this contract. I don't really care for this signing. Several things. Again, he hasn't played this season. Like, if we wanted a player, the guy, my guy, if you're gonna sign a vet in this capacity, I would have loved the Marcus Morris. Now, granted, Marcus Morris is nowhere near the same as he was when he first came to the Knicks a few years ago. But we talk about so-called leadership on his team. The only way this guy's really connected with the Knicks is because Leon Rose was former agent. PJ Tucker's 38 years old. He's been somewhat of I don't say a head case, but he's rubbed some organizations, it seems, the wrong way, or some locker rooms the wrong way, in the sense of that he's been just angling to get out of some certain teams. I think with the Clippers, I'm forgetting the other one where he had some issues with. But I'm not saying that he's a head case where it's like, oh my gosh, we can't deal with this guy. He's terrible, like a Jimmy Butler type. It's just in a sense of like, I think that he thinks his value is a lot higher than what it actually is. And I think that at this point, PJ Tucker, again, he's not a highly productive player. He might give you a three here or there, but when we talk about leadership, if you're not a Villanova guy, if you're not really part of this locker room from day one, are these guys really going to look at you as like a leader? Are they really going to follow you and really feel like you're a guy they can follow after? Like, it's not as if PJ Tucker was this great player. And I swear I'm not poo-pooing. I'm just tell him like it is. I don't think these guys look at PJ Tucker like he was a great player when he was in his so-called prime. I don't even think he's ever averaged over 10 points a game. Not to say that you can't impact the game otherwise. I just don't think that these guys. Oh crap! I got Darcy in the hold on, let me put on the stream yard. I don't think these guys are seeing PJ Tucker like this great add to the team. We talk about locker room stuff, bro. You could be as vet as you want, but unless you have some cachet and or you're producing, bro, they're not gonna. I'm not sure these guys really gonna see you as such. And they tried that with a better playing Jimmy Butler when they tried to bring him over. Tom Thibodeau tried that over in Minnesota. Now, granted, different context, different times. You're hoping Cat matured, and you're hoping it's not a situation where, and again, PJ Tucker's not as good as Jimmy Butler, so you're not going to have him challenging plays in terms of on a court like that and practices like the infamous story of Jimmy Butler playing with the third stringers versus Cat. But, you know, you just have this older player, and it's just like, bro, what numbers you putting up? What rings have you won? Like, who are you to sit up there and tell me? I'm just saying that's how they're going to look at it, which is not good. And I'm not saying it's necessarily right, but you just look at PJ Tucker, okay, give me some defense and give me some 3-point shots if you can. If that's even if he's playing. You hope he's somewhat productive, but depending on a 38-year-old player like that at this moment, I don't think there's a lot that we should be expecting from PJ Tucker. You know, hopefully he's going to spell some plays again. He can't go into the playoffs just because of where he's been signed in the season. My man. Let me get a Darcy. Give me 2 seconds, Darcy. All right, let me see. Got my guy Darcy. Hold up. Of course, the size of my screen is awful, so just give me a few seconds, Darcy. I see you. Let me just fix the screen. But to me, man, actually, Darcy, if you want to speak, go ahead and speak. But
nah, you can keep talking, bro. No.
All right, yeah, it's not me issuing on PJ Tucker whatsoever. I think in his day he was a solid role player. It's just the Knicks. I don't know if it's panicking. It's just we're out of ideas, man. Like our best players down. Mitch Robinson's still not 100%. You're looking at guys like Cat and OG, hoping they can step up. But honestly, Cat right now is not really. He's not really a viable 1B player behind Brunson. He's probably just best as a 2 player. You see him out there. I don't just trust his decision making. He's not a leader amongst men when things are going down. No offense to Cat. I know he's improved a lot this season on the Tibbs, but to take over and try to not replicate but provide the same impact or at least keep the impact that Brunson had that could lead to wins. I just don't see that from him. OG's is the best at catch and shoot, catch and attack off the closeout type of player, and he's also often injured. He's not truly number 2. Josh Hart is probably your best connector, whatever, but even that's a guy that you saw in the Clippers game, this dude gave up a 3 and Cat was screaming at him, shoot the damn 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Josh can take on the mantle like that. So right now the PJ Tucker signing is just like, man, we got to just get healthy bodies. I don't look too much into this whole leadership thing. I just don't think that's the case. I think PJ Tucker's also benefit from playing from some talented players in his career and kind of not necessarily hiding behind that, but like playing as like the well-intentioned, abiding general behind some of these players. So I'm not expecting a lot from Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker. I'm hoping that other guys step up. I'm hoping that Tibbs gives some looks to some of the young kids like Pacome, even just on the defensive end. You see this Knicks team will build up an 8-10 point lead, and guys are playing heavy minutes. Guys are getting gassed. The defensive structure just breaks down. How many this happened throughout the game. How many times you seen Zubac come up free underneath the basket? Guys just appearing free underneath the basket because the Knicks defense is flustered. So, PJ Tucker to me, it's a whatever signing. I'm not looking too deep into this, but yeah, Darcy, please let me know your thoughts on this PJ Tucker signing. 10-day contract, can't play in the playoffs, but on paper 3-and-D, I guess. Even though I think some has been a little bit.
I think it was a decent signing, and for a few reasons. One, it's a 10-day contract, so the Knicks didn't just overreact and decide to give him just that final last roster spot. They said, no, we'll call you in. Let's get you into the locker room. Let's get you around the team and see what kind of impact you have and go from there. And I think that was the right approach to take. This is a guy at the end of the day who played a crucial role for the Milwaukee Bucks during their 2021 championship run. And so I think he adds a lot of toughness and grittiness to your team. A lot of what we lack this year that we had last year that played a vital role to our success. And so I think he's a player who can kind of fit in as that glue guy, but in the sense of providing just toughness, right? We really need that on this team. Guys like Karl Anthony Towns, you got Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, you got a bunch of light-skinned nice guys, you know. This is good. You know, we gotta you know, Jalen Brunson has like the most light-skinned celly. What the fuck? No, I mean, bro, like we gotta like if you look at our team from where we had RJ Barrett, we had Julius Randle. And
so because they were darker skinned, they were tougher.
No, it's not. It's call it what you want, but light skin and dark skin toughness is two different things. Shut the fuck. I mean, look at it, bro. You got when you change your team and you add in a Mikal Bridges and you add in a Karl Anthony Towns. You know, these are two guys who, again, they're just really nice guys. So you have to wonder if they have the mental wherewithal to handle the weight of playing in New York. And guys like PJ Tucker, these are guys who are going to help keep the team focused and locked in and also help us to maximize the talent that we have out there. I think he adds veteran leadership that we don't currently have. Cam Payne is our oldest vet. Right, we don't really have that vet on this team who knows what it takes to win a championship. And again, he played a vital role for Milwaukee. And there's multiple clips and highlights of him firing up the team, of him holding everyone accountable. And this is a young Knicks team. For them to win a championship in New York, you need a guy with that kind of voice, a guy that can help keep the team poised when we're down in games, especially when you talk about a series. You know, these guys have to be mentally prepared if you're going to go up against Boston in the second round. You know, this is not going to be easy for us to win a championship this season. The odds are against us. And so you need to get guys with a voice in the locker room that can help fire up this team because you don't see it. Karl Anthony Towns over his last 4 games is only averaging 16 points, 37% from the field, and 27% from 3. This is not enough, you know. With Jalen Brunson,
I feel you on the hypothetical toughness. I think that you bring in that type of toughness when the leadership is there, when the leaders are playing on the court. So you get your generals, if they're aligned, you're hoping they'll be aligned with a Brunson, whoever, you know what I'm saying. That they're aligned, and then it's like, all right, now everybody's aligned with playing tougher. But if you have a guy who really has been hopping from team to team, and other teams that can use that toughness and leadership don't see it. Like the Clippers got 2 guys who've been one guy really in Kawhi Leonard's been often injured. Harden, who could play a little bit, I don't say like a dip, but he could play a little cluster head at times, or fluster head at like just playing his own little space. They could use that toughness, right? A lot of these teams that he came off from could use the toughness that he provides. That's why to me is like, I'm not trying to underrate his ability, but you need that toughness when your kings are there, not when your king is out. Now you're hoping that a kind of a mercenary type who hasn't even played a minute this year comes in and is trying to bark on who? Like, I agree with you, Darcy. In theory, yes, we need the toughness. But I can only imagine a locker room if things are getting tough, right? You talking about these starters are going out there playing 39, 40-some minutes, trying to hold it down, trying to play against some of these tough teams. You don't have much help from the bench, and you got PJ Tucker trying to bark on me. Like I'm just saying, a lot of guys are gonna bark back. Like, bro, son, you 38, just like 50 Cent, man, looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick, trying to play hate on my ish, made a fat. They gonna look at him like, who you talking to, bro? I don't know you.
I don't think so, bro.
How? Didn't he just have issues with was it the Clippers where he want to come off and the front office was like, bro.
That's a front office thing, but I think in the locker room, and especially I've checked out a couple of interviews from him. He's been on a couple podcasts. He talked about why he ended up leaving the Bucks after their championship run. After kind of listening to him and kind of diving down and doing a little bit more research on him, I think he's a well-respected voice across the NBA. I mean, you look at his past 12 seasons, he's made the most corner threes out of any NBA player over the past 12 seasons, which I thought was acknowledgeable, right? When you look at his stats, it's nothing fancy. You know, for his career, he's averaging about 6 points a game, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. So nothing eye-popping. But, you know, there are certain guys who add a certain dynamic to your team. And if there's any Knicks team that needs it, it's this team.
But then you look at that, Darcy, if he was that impactful, Darcy, he's not coming off of teams like that, bro.
So let's look at it. I'm not really too concerned about the whole coming off of teams things. I think there are teams who don't have the space for him. And the reason why I say that is because these teams actually play their young guys. They grow their teams and give other players opportunities to see if they fit into their system outside of a vet. Or for us, I think Tom Thibodeau is a coach who he heavily relies on vets. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'd rather Tom Thibodeau sign somebody who he's actually willing to play or that is going to play a crucial role in some way in adding to this team. Right now, we lack an identity and we lack toughness. And that's where PJ Tucker comes in helping to establish an identity because we don't have it right now. And we're about a month and some time left from playoff time. Playoffs start April 19th. We're not nowhere near where we need to be. And things can change in a month. But when you have Jalen Brunson out for probably 2 to 3 weeks, and then he has to come back and get in rhythm, and then they still have to try to snap into form, you have a lot working against you. So a lot of this is mental. And so with this being mental, you need a guy that can come in there and bring some toughness, bring some intensity, bring some grittiness, and spark a fire under these guys. And I'm not saying that he's going to come in and work magic wonders, but at the end of the day, we need toughness, and that's what he brings. And so I want to see what kind of impact he has. And I'm not necessarily expecting that he's going to get on the court much. But when you look at the clips of how he coaches a lot of players, they respect him. A guy like Karl Anthony Towns is going to respect him. A guy like Mikal Bridges is going to respect him.
You sure?
Yes.
Bro,
one, he has a championship. He has a championship. And it's not like
that don't mean nothing.
I mean, it does mean something to
if you're not one of the main players on a championship team, bro, and you move from team to team to team to team every other year, people don't look at you like, oh my gosh, I gotta really. I've never heard anybody sit up there and say, yo, man, before he came, bro, we really he was one of the leaders. He was one bro. No, I'm not trying to poo-poo an issue on PJ Tucker, right? I like PJ Tucker and his so-called prime, whatever, right? He's a tough, hard-nosed player. Remember the whole thing with the Bucks, Nets, him and KD's mom, him and KD. You like that, right? You like I won't call him a goon, but he's in between a goon and like a table setter, if that makes sense in terms of the intensity on the floor. But if your leader's not there, and this team is they have that Villanova. Not saying that they wouldn't allow a guy to come in and try to be a leader in his own right, whatever.
We don't even have the Villanova thing anymore, right? Like, you saw that last year because of how synced Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart were together. I don't see that with Mikal Bridges, if I'm being completely honest.
That's just Mikal. That's one player, though. The main Villanova aura, the main Villanova structure is still there, right? Josh is still a major part of this team.
No, but that's not my whole point is Dante fortified that as that being the team's identity. And when you get rid of him and you bring in Mikal Bridges, and he's not, again, Mikal, I'm not completely knocking him, but for me, I look at it like this. PJ Tucker is a good point of attack defender. He plays with that toughness and assertiveness. And to me, you need an example. You need a guy that's going to say, no, this is how you approach this. This is how you do this. No, this is how you – he's that kind of guy that's going to be that voice in the locker room to help these guys grow faster. Because, hey, this is your first year together. We don't know what this team is going to do come playoff time. If we're being completely honest, last year we were way more confident about our team. This year we don't know. So I'm perfectly fine with taking a low risk move like a 10-day contract on a PJ Tucker, and you can sign him to a second 10-day contract if you need to get another look at him. But again, this team lacks a certain mental edge and toughness to it, and that goes a long way when the pressure is on. And JB cannot be the only guy. And again, JB is the captain of the team. JB, to me, I listen to JB talk. I love JB's game, but to me, he's not that leader, that locker room vocal leader. The team's gonna follow behind him on the court, but I just don't think he's that guy to speak life into the team. I've never heard him talk and felt that from him. I just hear, I got to be better. I got to do better. It's on me. And that's cool and all that, but that's not what I'm looking for out of leadership. That's not what I need to hear. Looking for.
Well, to be fair, we don't really know what goes on in the locker room. Just because a guy maybe what they show us on the floor, right, is the only thing that we can really perceive and take. We don't know what they do in practice. We don't know how they communicate during blah, 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 during practices, during scrimmages, whatever they do, working out. We have no idea what they're doing. So I just want to put that because a lot of times we say, oh, yeah, this play, how he gets the guys and blah, blah, blah. I've seen people tune out Patrick Beverly. I've seen Jeff Teague talk about, when you said, and not you, but a few people say, yo, Giannis is a leader, blah, blah, blah. Jeff Teague, not saying he was speaking for anybody else. It was like, man, I ain't listen to that ish, bro. This dude, they talked about the party hat for the championship, how it was so ass that he just went back home and just played video games. So I'm just saying, it's like, I think many times we look at success and then how a play emotes and say, yeah, that's a good leader. We have no idea. So I just want to put that out there. Not say I necessarily disagree with you in terms of at times, because I'm looking at some of the stuff they do when they playing read and react, and I'm like, JB, instead of you going ISO, you should probably run this. Instead of doing this, you should probably set up players a little bit better, blah, blah, blah. That's a sign of a leader, right? Delegating to players, getting guys more comfortable on the floor. So when they do need to make big shots, it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, the first time I touched the ball tonight. Things of that nature. That's where I take more of the leadership stuff from. But again, in terms of locker room stuff, we don't know.
Nah, I mean, like I said, bro, I don't need to be in that locker room. I'm just being, I get what you're saying, but this is a real guy who has a voice and is going to really hold the team accountable. You can hear it in him. It's organic. It's not something that's forced. It's not a situational thing. You hear it in him. You're going to hear it in a post game. You're going to hear it like a guy like Damian Lillard to a degree. How Dame talks. Dame has a motivational aspect to how he talks. I'm not saying he's the utmost leader, but and again, I'm not trying to shift the discussion to Dame because Dame is not my ideal leader either. But there are certain guys. Their voice plays a crucial role in the locker room, and right now we don't have that. JB cannot be that guy in my eyes. I don't like if that's our toughest guy that can spark some life into our team. Like to me, the guy that will come off closest, and I'm not saying off of the verbal, but just how they play their demeanor, the guys that will come off closest to what I'm talking about would be a Miles McBride or a campaign. I'm talking about a feisty, gritty guy.
That don't mean they're good leaders in a locker room. That could just
I don't want to debate with you because we're going to keep going back and forth.
Nah.
I'd rather move on to a more productive topic.
This dude said Miles Bridges. Oh, man. Son.
No, I'm saying dude.
You said Miles Bridges, right?
No, dudes.
Oh, Deuce McBride. I'm sorry. My bad, bro. I just said Miles Bridges. My bad.
No, I thought I said McBride. If I said Bridges.
No, you're right. No, you probably said McBride. My bad.
No, but I'm talking about Deuce. I'm talking about guys who play with that intensity that if they actually are fired up, you can believe it. But it's just certain guys, like I said, we got a team full of super nice guys, and I just don't feel this team has the mental edge and toughness to get over the hump that it's going to take when the pressure's on. JB is a dog in his own way. Josh Hart is a dog in his own way. But there's a certain particular type of way I'm looking for our players to be dogs that we don't have on this team.
Do you think that's actually attainable? Okay, so put it like this. We could talk about dog this, dog that. Until Cat feels comfortable which I don't get it. Where he could play on an island when he's playing ISO, but then off the screen he can't play that. That's not. I'm not sure that's hard. That's a decision. That's a business decision. You do not want to get crossed over. You don't want blah blah blah. That's a business decision. That's on Cat. How do you change that? Is that so-called heart? Is that intensity? Like I can't call it, bro. I really can't call it with something like that. So it just seems like you just we can sit up here and talk about heart, whatever. If a guy ain't buying in, he's just not gonna buy in. How do you
No,
make
I
Cat?
mean,
Go ahead.
like I said, bro, I watched the Bucks that year. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
change in their will to win. That's what I'm talking about. The stuff on the court has to work itself out on its own time. I'm talking about just the will to win. This team does not have a will to win. You go up against Cleveland. You go against OKC. You go against the Celtics. We have not shown a will to win. There are a certain amount of games where we go into these games and the Knicks have not shown up. And if JB can't get it going to start that game, this team is out of it. You see a guy like Campaign, even when we last faced Boston, who helped get us back in that game? Campaign got in that game and started knocking down threes. He played like he didn't feel the game was over. He started making threes. He felt like we were still in it, and that woke the team up. And then Miles McBride got in, started bringing intensity, and the rest of these guys started to lock in too. OG and Anunoby followed. These guys started to play with a will to win. And that's why I say you have to have guys that's like, yo, F that. We're not going to let these guys come in here and beat on us like that. Like, no, we're going to fight back. We're going to throw some punches back at these guys. This is a sole team that when we get hit, we have not shown the will to fight back. And that's why I think it's also a locker room issue. When you get a guy that can light a fire under your team, it makes it a lot easier to figure out all the other deficiencies that you have. But when your team does not have a will to win, it doesn't matter.
We'll find out what the deficiencies are right now. We see the deficiencies.
No, but I'm not saying figure out what they are. I'm talking about the solution to them.
We know what the solutions are.
I'm talking about we as fans, we can know what the solutions are. Tom Thibodeau, something's not clicking for him.
You don't think that they don't know? Look, man, they know what the solutions are. It's either up to Tom Thibodeau. Well, it's not just Tom Thibodeau, it's Leon Roosevelt too. It's up to them to either implement and try to get new solutions. They're gonna have to make some change to the roster. But if we know it, they know it. Whether they want to execute it or not, that's up to them. But to sit up here, put it like this, bro. We could sit up here and talk about will to win, but and I'm not saying that this is Mikal Bridges. I'm looking at like, yo, bro, I gotta go out there and defend 4 quarters. I'm running through 30 billion screens, getting little help with Cat out there. My legs are dead by the end of the first half. And I still got to go out there and create. You're going to sit up here and talk. I just played a game yesterday. We lost by 25 to a team that literally shot 30 billion threes. They were all, we're not a short team, but they're all taller than us. It was just, and not to say we were all fighting against each other, but it's like, yo, we were all trying to do our part. And it's like, what else do you want me to do? They're just a better team. Like, what else? And I'm not saying that's not saying one for one the case for the Knicks, but I'm telling you, a guy like Mikal Bridges, I'm not saying that he's going to be the type to be like this, but I'm telling you, when players are out there and say you're a player that has a good game, or you have a really good game, but your team lost by 30, and some dude's trying to tell you, oh, you got to do this, got to do this. Bro, I'm telling you, in the heat of it all, you're not sitting up there and just taking it like, yeah, nah, you right. You're going to be like, wait, I just ran out and played the defense of my life. I just ran out there and gave y'all 22 points off an 8 for 12 shooting, which Mikal did versus the Clippers. And you're talking to me about what? I'm telling you, these players going to be like, I'm not saying it's right, Darcy. They're going to look at a guy like PJ Tucker and be like, who are you? I'm not saying all, but I won't be surprised if that comes out. They're going to be like, you are a hired gun. You haven't been productive. You didn't even play this season. Who are you to be telling me this? And I'm playing 42 minutes a night, playing the team's best defenders, and you're telling me to do what? I'm telling you, bro, this is human nature. We can sit up here and talk about they got this veteran leadership. And I'm hearing now, thank God these guys have podcasts where you can hear these guys that when they were acquired by said and said team, such team, they're supposed to be the veteran leadership and blah, blah. And they were like, man, my final years, man, I was cruising. I was just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait, what? Weren't you supposed to be the veteran locker room presence, blah, blah? And I'm not saying PJ Tucker can't be that. I'm just saying that, look, man, they grasping at straws. Hopefully that helps, but like I said, it's not. They might even look at Tibbs and be like, Tibbs, play some of these younger guys. Our legs are dead. Why is Pacome not playing minutes? I gotta go out there and play 42 minutes. You can't spell me for 5 minutes and have Pacome just go out there and defend and hit threes. And I got PJ Tucker trying to tell me to do what? Bro, son, like I hope it works, but this looks it looks desperate. It looks like we grasping at straws. And again, 10-day contract is not gonna hurt you. It's but even now on top of the 10-day contract, they look at it like, yo, you're on a 10-day contract, my guy. I'm gonna listen to you for 10 days and whatever. If you rub me the wrong way, pause. All right, whatever. You be going in 10 days. So look, man, Darcy, I'm not trying to poo-poo the point. I hope it works. I like PJ Tucker when he was on the Bucks. I liked him when he was on the Rockets. But those are some years ago, bro.
No, I agree, right? This dude is almost 40. But
38, son.
But again, I look at it like this. This team lacks an identity and this team lacks toughness. Two areas where this guy, he brings it. He's never a guy that you have to worry about him being unfit. He's never a guy that doesn't show up. His number shows that in the playoffs, he raises his game. So, again, with where this team is right now, these are not areas that we can say we are 100% or even 80% confident that this team has already. So I would rather take a 10-day flyer on a guy who brings that, a veteran voice in the locker room, will be our oldest vet on the team outside of campaign, and again, has won a championship, brings toughness, can shoot corner three at a good clip, and can be a good point of attack defender and can also switch 1 through 5. That is invaluable if you're talking about going on a playoff run. Because you never know who goes down. If you lose a guy like OG Anunoby, PJ Tucker is a good insurance piece off the damn bench for defense. I'm not saying he's going to give you 100% what he has given in previous years, but that is a good insurance piece off the bench because he's going to play with intensity. You put him next to a guy like Miles McBride, you got 2 point of attack defenders who are getting over screens, aggressively fighting, hustling for loose balls, going for rebounds, getting you second chance points. Next to Josh Hart, dude, bro, it can just be something like that to help this Knicks team get out into transition, help us play faster with slower pace. So again, this guy can impact the game in so many ways that we don't have right now. To me, he's a tougher Josh Hart. And the thing about it, say what you want, he's not scared to shoot. Josh Hart is timid as hell to shoot the three right now. It's really frustrating right now.
It is.
At least PJ Tucker, if he get that 3 ball in the corner, he gonna let it fly. So again, this team cannot lose for taking a flyer on this guy right here. And I also wanted to get your thoughts real quick. I checked out this trade to see if it works, and I'm just throwing out a hypothetical here. And I'm not even saying that they would take this trade, but I think they would at least entertain a discussion. In the offseason, and it depends on how he plays, but I'm calling the Atlanta Hawks, I'm calling Landry Fields, and I'm asking, hey, how do you feel about Mikal Bridges and 2 second-round picks for Dyson Daniels and Karis LeVert? The Knicks get a 14-point per game Dyson Daniels, who gives you 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 36 to 37% from 3, and leads the league at 3 steals per game. And you get a Karis LeVert off the bench, who's a guard who can create for himself, help break down the defense, and give you 10 points a game. If you can get that done, you pull the trigger if you're Leon Rose. You pair probably the best point of attack defender in the league right now in Dyson Daniels with Jalen Brunson. And Dyson Daniels, again, that's 14 a game. He's giving you 5 rebounds. Mikal is not giving you that. He's giving you 4 assists a game. Mikal is not giving you that. And then this is a young guy who's going to keep getting better along with 3 steals. He has 64 steals in the month of December alone.
Yeah, one game
135 deflections.
he had one game. He had 6 steals in a game.
Dyson Daniels is the perfect player to put next to Jalen Brunson. These guys just gave up DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs for scraps. I'm pretty sure they're not sold on keeping Karis LeVert because you just got him. If you can get a Mikal Bridges who has never missed a game, his usage is down 23%, so you get him next to Trae Young, and he's still in his prime. You got him for I think one more season, so you don't even have to retain him. You can use him as a trade piece. I'm calling Atlanta about that trade, and I'll pull the trigger.
The only thing, or several things with that trade, one, the front office looks highly on Dyson Daniels, and you know who actually, you know who actually. Well, that's the whole point. So you're not going to just get with 2 second rounders, right?
You might have to give up a first. You might have to give up one.
You would probably have to give him a first one, and they may look at him as a piece going forward because it'll be him, Jalen Johnson. I also think they're trying to move on from Trae Young. I think that's going to be the next big piece because they're really going nowhere. So if they get that Trae Young ball rolling, I'm not sure they get rid of Dyson Daniels straight up. If you could get him for cheap and just have him as like an off guard who just hound other teams' defense. And even while your man Trae Young is still there, he plays as a perfect offset because I don't have to have Trae Young have to guard really anybody. I have somebody who can guard anywhere from the 1 to even some small fours out there in Dyson Daniels. Right, and he provides a crap load of value at $6 million a year. So look, man, I'm still high on Mikal. I get people's frustrations. I just don't think Dyson's coming off that easily. You guys see? Oh crap! You guys see me? We good? We good? So I just heard a computer just did something weird. Hold up, y'all. But yeah, I'm not sure that happens without you having to give up a first. Do you think that in your brain you don't think that Mikal's really redeemable at all? At all. You don't think he fits with this team? There's no
honestly, bro, and I hate to speak on Mikal because even that Lakers game, he made a few hustle plays. Like I think he dived, he caught the steal and then kicked it back in. I think he had a crucial play in the fourth quarter. He's giving us what he can get, but I just don't think it's enough for this team. Had we kept Devo, I think it would have been a lot easier to have Mikal. But we need more from this team because our bench has gotten weaker. Last year, we had Alec Burks. We had Bojan off the bench. These are guys who were averaging 20 points for the Detroit Pistons before we acquired them.
Yeah, but Burks, when he came back, was type trash. Bojan was fine. Bojan, if he didn't get hurt, I thought he would have been.
Yeah.
He was actually coming along nicely until he got freaking hurt. Yeah. Stupid ass game.
But at least you had guys like that. And Burks, he was trash in the regular season, but came playoff time, he showed himself to be very valuable.
But Darcy, look at what you just said, bro. Look at what you're implying. It's everybody else that has to I'm not saying that he doesn't have to do it. But it's not okay, you trade for Dyson, you're still gonna have the issue of freaking Cat playing drop back, of Cat being invisible on offense when you need him to be. Everybody talks about Cat being, oh my gosh, the most talented on the Wolves, which I agreed he was, even though Edwards is a guy. Cat is this, Cat is that. Okay, my best player goes down. The guy that's supposed to be him is supposed to be taking that next step up. Yes, okay, Mikal Bridges is not giving you enough, but let's be honest. If other defending teams are running him ragged through screens, am I expecting him to give me 30 points as well too? You know how tough it is to be a 3 and deep, not even an efficient 3, a proficient in the sense that I'm giving you volume and efficiency. Where's Cat? Where was Cat versus the Clippers? Bro? And OG's been doing better, but OG's just coming out of a major funk, and no one says anything. Josh, I love Josh Hart, but even Brunson has to say, yo, bro, when Josh went to the back, he's like, yo, bro, when Josh shoots threes, we become a dangerous team. He didn't say if he makes the three. He said if he just shoots the freaking threes, just shoot them. But everything gets on Mikal Bridges. Why? Because of price to get him. That's not Mikal Bridges' fault. That's the front office saying, hey, we're gonna try to take a leap and get to that championship by front loading and getting these players to come on now, and we're just gonna go for it this shit. That's on them. But to sit up here and say that Mikal Bridges not giving you that value, like we don't put this on anybody else but Mikal. We don't put it on the front office. We don't put it on Cat, who I would argue, yes, you have the the 5 first-round picks. That's a major cost. But you also traded for Cat and that, I won't say albatross, but a major ascending to $60 million contract. And this guy's not been playing like a true 1B player next to Brunson for the most part, especially when Brunson's been out. And I know he just came back from, his girl's relative, his girl's aunt's grandmother passing, rest in peace. But Cat this season, like, I don't sit up there and when Brunson's not in the game, I don't see Cat as like that guy. He needs guidance. He needs to play alongside a gravity guy, and yet he doesn't get enough blame. I'm not attacking you, Darcy. I don't hear no one on social media or nothing talking about Cat's defense. The only person I heard was Perkins, but he was coming at Brunson and what's saying. No one talks about this dude. Cat literally, his drop back destroys the whole defense. I can show y'all clips when they play the drop back. How you have to now overcommit off the screen. Someone else is now seeping in from the outside to possibly tag. Once you get into the paint, deep enough pause against Cat, you can throw up the floater. You kick out to the outside where your guy's already being freaking having to play inside. That creates even more space for you to kick it out to the outside guy to hit the three. No one talks about how bad Cat's drop back has been. No, and I don't really get at Mitch. Mitch, I give him a tiny bit, not blame, but tiny bit of the whatever. Him not being healthy also hurts as well too, right? I get Cat has to be better, but I've seen Cat when he only had to be the number 3 best player on the floor, and at times when guys were out, play the number 1 guy. I seen him put up a defensive player of the year type season. Came in number 2, obviously. I seen him do that. And that's his game. If Mikal gave me the game he gave put out in, I think, the year before he left, or the year before he left in Phoenix, if we get that Mikal Bridges, bro, we good. But everybody else other guys have to produce. Other guys have to produce. The Lakers game, what did Josh Hart put up? Clippers game, what did Miles McBride put up? 2 for 13 from the field? But we blame Mikal Bridges. 8 for 12 from the field. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, or something like that. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, something like that. Solid ass game. Running, attacking off the screens. Eating off the pick and roll. Mid-range shot was lovely. But we don't get on anybody else. Miles McBride, you gave me 2 for 13 from the field? It's unacceptable. But yeah, only Mikal gets it. So, look, man, if we're gonna go for these type of trades, look, I think something's gonna have to happen. I think that at that contract, it's a very team friendly contract, so maybe you get value there. Also, too, they could use some shooting the Hawks because they only really got. No, Bogey's not even there anymore. He's with the Clippers. Who they shooters on that team? So I guess they could use Mikal on that team. I just don't think that they'll give up Dyson Daniels for him. Because you get a lot more complementary value with Dyson versus Mikal. And then if Mikal's struggling there, like, I just think that they want to get to a place where they're gonna truly rebuild, and they'll pick Jalen, who's untouchable, and maybe Dyson. But I think until Trey goes, it's kind of tough for me to think that they're gonna retool with Trey. I just don't see that, man. But let me see some comments before I get back to you. Darcy says, Bridges not even an all-star at Leon is fault for giving Nets all those picks for him. Dolan needs to step in ASAP. No. You don't want Dolan stepping in. Let the basketball people do what they need to do. You don't need Dolan to do anything. Again, the Knicks are 17 games above 500. There's no need to panic and get Dolan to do what Dolan does worst. Cat gets more criticism than anybody. That's not even close to true. That's not even close to true, Dave Smith. Deuce cannot run the floor. Kolek will run the floor better, yeah, but Kolek can't defend. Yeah, but Deuce, and I love Deuce, but Deuce needs to get some. He needs to get some blame for his bad play as well too. Let me see. Makai and OG cover defense for all the stars. That's why we getting killed by the three. Um, and OG hasn't even been fully healthy. But it's the scout report is easy how to play the Knicks. You want to break down their defense? Run Makai Bridges ragged. He'll lose his legs by the third quarter, and it become a lot easier. Now you have to maybe switch OG, but you still have a weaker. You have still weaker wing defense, tag defense. When you put an OG on your point of attack defense, it worked against the Heat. You know what I mean? But we just beat the Heat, right? So, did you miss that Cat made All Star this year? Do you have amnesia? No. Jamal McClure made the All Star. What is All Star? Is just production. Doesn't necessarily mean impact. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're not making mistakes. You guys are judging someone's playoff for All Stars. Wow. Okay. Did freaking Vernon Maxwell make an All Star? Vernon Maxwell would have shut that. He probably made one back in the day. Probably one of the most impactful defenders out there. Probably one of, I would say one of the best on Jordan, but one of the best defenders out there back in the 90s. And I'm not sure if he got an All-Star, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about there. Suits Margaret Edwards in the chat. Mook was supposed, Suits Eastbrook Drew. Mook was supposed to be our bench, but no, let's go get Shemet and guard LeBron. I wanted Mook, and he was back here. He was back here. Mook would have been perfect for this team. Could hit the three. He's gonna try hard on defense. He's gonna be goonish at times. So when dudes want to sit there and a showboat and do his bum ass ish, they couldn't do it. But I want to ask you this, Darcy, because I guess we're leaning into this. Number 2 player, bro. Who do you trust for that to be on this team, and how do they have to? In JB's absence, what are you looking from this number 2 player to do? Is it Josh? Is it OG? Is it Cat? Is it collectively all of them? What are you looking for on this team? If we can't,
I'm looking for collectively all of them, bro. Because I'm just not. Again, I'm not offensively sure about this team. I'm not sure that we have enough right now. Like I look at that Clippers game, we shot like 5 for 20 down the stretch. We were down by 5 and then shot like 5 for 20. So we had no chance of getting back into that game. And those are moments where you need somebody that can guarantee get you an easy bucket. And that's why I say guys like RJ Barrett were invaluable, because say what you want about his shooting, but RJ can get to the rim at will and get you an easy 2. So, who's that guy that at any given moment, all right, we're struggling to score, let me put some points on the board to keep us in this. It can't just be JB. It can't just be Towns chucking up a 3 and hoping that he makes it. It's like, yo, and then Towns too, he's a 7-footer. He's getting to the rim. He's not getting any foul calls. He complains about it at least 3 to 4 times. It's like, yo, we have to switch something up or figure out something else to counter when teams put smaller players on him. We're not creating mismatches the way he's going against teams opposing centers. So you're not really getting the value out of having to stretch big on the floor like you're supposed to. And a lot of this is on Tom Thibodeau. He's waiting too long to put the players back in the game. Fourth quarter, especially that Lakers game, it's like, yo, you waited way too long to put JB back in the game.
Yeah.
Well, Mitch should have been in the game.
Thank you.
This is like, again, these are reasons why we're losing games. And, it's a coaching issue. And it's a talent issue too, because on paper when they put this team together, it sounded good in theory. Okay, we got Mikal Bridges, we got Campaign and Landry Shaman, who he played with in Phoenix, and they went to the finals. So this should be a good bench of guys who have played well together, and we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that for whatever reason. Maybe because Thibs kind of deviated from staggering Mikal with them as much. I don't know. Or maybe because they're having a hard time playing next to Deuce. I don't know what it is. That team needs to play faster. We're not playing that fast. And that's why I say a guy like Dyson Daniels helps you, because a team like Atlanta plays faster, and this guy is averaging damn near 5 assists a game, so he moves the ball. So you need more playmakers on the floor, and you need guys that can just get.
But for right now, though, say we can't.
Yeah, I mean. Right now, that's why I want a guy like TJ Warren. You need a guy off the bench that can come in and provide some scoring when the starters don't have it, because that's too much pressure on them to know, hey, we have to make up the majority of the points of this game for us to have a chance to win, because we can't gamble for the entirety of the playoffs that we're going to get big games from Miles McBride, from Campaign, from Landry Shaman. We have no confidence that we're going to get at least two or three games, big games from somebody off the bench in the playoff time. Miles McBride is the most likely person for that, but outside of that, we have no one else that we can be confident is going to get us buckets off the bench. And that's why I'm saying it's either you see astronomical, you see amazing things from PJ Tucker, or you go and you pivot and you say, okay, well, we try to add some toughness. That's not it. Well, we can't add the toughness this year. We need to add the talent, the ability to put the ball on the floor, break down the defense, and get us easy points. And that guy's TJ Warren. Can knock down the three, can get in the mid-range, can help penetrate. He's going to give you what Alec Burks gave you last year when we were struggling to score. He's going to give you the three. He's going to give you playmaking. And it's another team that teams have to – it's another player that teams now have to try to game plan against.
I would love to have a barrage where, like, guys, I don't want to show it here because I don't want to get in no trouble with the with the copyright stuff, but go and watch how they utilize McCall in the Clippers game. And, you know, that's the type of offense you want from your wings. And I would love to have a rotation where you have Warren and you have Josh Hart as a facilitator, Warren and McCall literally just running all those actions where you just punish teams off of screens. You had Josh doing handoffs. Josh was playing like a quasi, even though he doesn't roll to the basket enough, quasi Bruce Brown, right? Just this kind of connector who plays as a small center, if that makes any sense, just setting screens, hitting that little mid-range shot. But he was just more so setting the screens, again, those guys, the space they needed with the handoffs and running pick and roll. So I would love, again, T.A. Warren at this point, you need something. And I think that Tibbs, Tibbs is my guy, but, he could be stubborn. Got to open up the floor for a guy like T.J. Warren, just to come off the bench and give you some production. Like you said, we went 0 for 7 from 3 in the fourth quarter. We went 8 for 23 in that fourth quarter from the field. That's god-awful. And mind you, Josh Hart made 2 shots, 2 for 2 from fourth quarter, and McCall was 3 for 4 from the fourth quarter. But you saw we didn't have the defense, we didn't have the legs really to defend. Even if it's just spelling guys minutes, I need TJ Warren here to not just hit the shot, but just to be a threat on the floor and give guys like McCall a breather. McCall played the whole fourth quarter, by the way. Right? He played a total of 42 and a half minutes. Josh Hart, 45. Bringing the offense in. We're not playing Kolek. We're not playing Pacome, which I think is stupid not to play Pacome, at least defensively. Got to bring some of these other guys in. Go ahead.
Pacome, bro, is 6'9". Can shoot the three a little bit.
Can defend! Yo, sorry to cut you off, Darcy. I apologize. I don't care if Pacome went -1 for 8. The fact that he can defend. Darcy, in these games that we're playing, we're in these games. We don't have any disruption at point of attack because guys' legs are dead. They're running McCall off screens. We don't have nobody to go out there and say, yo, sick him. And I'm talking about fresh legs. Just 5 minutes of fresh legs, 7 minutes of fresh legs could do you wonders. Just to put him out there. And this is why I get mad at Tibbs about. I'm not, just play any rookie player. We got to play the whatever. But when I have a player, like this is why I'm, Darcy, I have no idea. And I apologize for cutting you off. What the hell is happening in these damn practices? Because remember, the early group a few years ago, IQ, Grimes, all those guys worked their way. If you can even argue Grimes did that, right? Gave a few minutes defensively next year. I mean, he started, he did bad, but at least he was able to start. And he started over Dante, a vet who's actually done something in this league. So I'm wondering what is happening in these early games that's not convincing Tom Thibodeau to at least give Pacome defensive for what you love so much. Tom, you have an offensive team that is losing has lost its defensive identity of years prior. Why isn't Pacome not playing? You played Huck Purdy, and I like Huck Purdy, but Huck Purdy was foul prone as a mother effer. The first few games you allowed Pacome to play, not full games, but the minutes you allowed him to play, I saw a solid disruptor. I was like, hey, yo, this is the same thing everybody was hoping that Cam Reddish was going to do. That he did inconsistently, very inconsistently. But Pacome to me sliding his feet, even in the summer league, Darcy. Your man Pacome couldn't shoot worth a lick in the
Bro,
summer
I think
league.
you doing a little bit too much on the defense, bro. I don't.
How am I? Wait, where am I doing this? All right, I'm gonna go back to the clips of the games that the few minutes that he did play this season, and put that on social because I'm telling you, bro. I'm not saying he's gonna a lockdown defender, but young legs, young annoying players, bro. Some of these players don't want to play against the Hardens, the Lukas, even though they cook a lot of people. They don't like having young, fresh legs that they don't play against typically out there defending them when they're trying to get in a groove. Luka was not doing great in that Lakers game versus us until what, the third, fourth quarter? We know what Luka does. He gets warmed up as a game and a situation kind of, picks up. I don't know if you guys saw the game yesterday against the Celtics. And I'm not sure how much he had in the first half, but Luka was starting to cook a little bit, hit that shot off the backboard, him and Jaylen Brown going back at it. So you know how these guys play. But to put out some young annoying defender, some French guy, who the hell is this guy? And he's moving with me laterally, and I can't cook him naturally. I'm not saying he would never cook Pacome. I'm just saying that to me, why is it the young players are not playing? There's something that has to be fundamentally wrong. These players are not picking it up. I don't know what it is. Darcy, I cut you off. I apologize, bro. Please finish your point on Pacome. I apologize for getting.
Oh, you good, bro. I mean, I don't feel like I really had much of a point, but my whole thing is, I think it's a lot more that Thibs could be doing to maximize this roster. Josh Hart to me should be coming off the bench. Mikal should be spending more time with the bench while Deuce and Mitch are playing with the starters. To me, that adds a nice offensive and defensive balance to this team. We cannot be a contender if we're not top 10 defensive. You look at all the teams that have won championships these past couple of years, they've been top 10 defensive. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if we can't get there, then we can't win. And when teams go on runs, we start pouting. We pout when we inbound the ball. We never used to be that kind of team. Other teams used to be like that when we used to be whooping them. Now I'm seeing traits of us doing like we pout too much as a team. It's like that's not the Knicks' identity. We're starting to look like how teams looked against us last year and the year before. We need to get back to this old Knicks gritty, just toughness and just playing with some tenacity on both sides of the ball. So Thibs needs to figure out what to do because with this bench, it's okay. We have a good game from our bench every now and then, but we need that every night. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I'm watching play the Bucks right now. They got Ty Jerome off the bench. That's a guy that's going to consistently give you 10 points a game.
Dude, he's been doing so good this season for the Cavaliers, bro. I would say this though, to your point about Josh Hart, they did play. If you go back to the Lakers game, Thibs was actually
he played with the bench a lot.
Yeah, and it didn't look bad. We talked about it here. I don't know if you're watching it. I know you don't want it to ruin the game for you, but I thought he was. I kept calling out like, yo, he was playing good as a playmaker with Brunson sitting down. But now we throw things out of whack with Brunson being hurt. I would say this though, Darcy. Everything you said is right. But honestly, bro, if these guys truly want it, they have to have better execution on the floor. Where I'm talking about, I'm expecting Josh, OG, Cat. They have to know each other's spots. They also have to, I don't say encourage, I don't know the right, but they got to bark at each other like, yo, bro, Cat, we got such and such playing this game, bro. You too big and powerful pause to not be getting your butt in the post at times and playing that ugly basketball. Get a quick bucket or get us a foul, slow the game down, bro. We just had a 10-point lead. Now it's down to 2. We know what they want to do. I need you to do the JB thing. Go to the line. We know they don't be calling you fouls at the time, but I need you to keep doing it until they do. Josh, shoot the freaking ball. Shoot the freaking ball. We don't care if you go 1 for 20. We just need you to be somewhat of a threat. And we know that
Yeah.
when you get your confidence up, it hits. We seen you when you get your confidence up, bro. You hit threes. OG, who's actually been playing better, so I don't want to kill him too much. But I also need to see OG in a post too. We have to have more look, and this is up to Tom Thibodeau as well too. Tom Thibodeau, I think, trusts these guys too much. He plays this read and react 5-out offense. When your best player is down, sometimes you got to go out there and coach each possession. Sometimes, I say all the time. Sometimes you got to go out there and basically be an old school coach and tell guys where they need to be. I saw a play yesterday where freaking, even though it didn't work to the doing, Tyronn Lue telling everybody to clear out versus Mikal Bridges, who had Zubac on him, but he took him straight to the basket. So I don't know why. Tyronn Lue did that, but I need to see more of that direction from Tom Thibodeau to get these guys into better spots. That and Cam, no more threes in transition. No more threes in transition. I beg your name of Jesus, no more of that garbage, bro. That's not your game. You go 1 for 5 from games and showboating when you hit 1 3. But yo, final thoughts, bro. We got the Kings tomorrow. Who actually I just heard Sabonis might go to the Nets now, which is interesting.
Bonus.
Yeah, they the odds. I just saw the odds somewhere on Twitter. Not Bovada. Bovada be off a lot of times. I forget who put it up, but they said Sabonis. His next stop might be the Nets, which would be random. But yeah, we got the Kings tomorrow, bro. How do you feel about the game? No De'Aaron Fox ever to worry about again. But I actually have not been paying attention to the Kings, so I'm not gonna sit up here and act as if I know what their recent record has been in the last few games. But how do you feel about this matchup coming up? I think we need to get something as we're coming to the end of the trip on the West Coast, but we need something badly. We'd love to freaking get Malik Monk on this team. But anyway, how do you feel about this game tomorrow, bro?
Well, I'm definitely gonna be happy to have Luke. I like that we also, this is off tangent, but I like that we finally deployed that 2 big lineup. We looked real big out there when we did that. So I definitely want to see more of that when JB gets back healthy, but I also want to see more of that now. Just so these guys, so at least we can see what these guys can do with Cat and Mitch out there. And I think SAC is a good team to try that out against, especially with what's his name?
Sabonis.
Yeah. Sabonis. He has he puts a lot of pressure on the rim. Mm-hmm. So having Mitch out there, having Cat out there, will do wonders. So I would like to see a little bit of that. Deuce, I want to see how Deuce responds in his game. Hasn't played well. And so I want to see what he does as a starter. I think Thibs is going to continue to run with that and show some trust in him. I don't think you want to hurt his confidence by pulling the plug on that. So I want to see how he responds. I know we called Kolek up, so I want to see, does he get some minutes in there if Campaign isn't shooting the ball well and giving us what we need. And Thibs needs to play the bench a little bit longer. Campaign gave us some good, gave us 5 points off the bench, and then we had nothing else from him. He took about 2 more shots, and that was it. But you got to give these guys more time to get in rhythm, especially going into playoff time. These are the guys that you're going to be relying on to carry your offense when the starters need rest. And so you need to make sure that they're ready. And like I said, I don't know what it's going to take with them. He's just too stubborn. I like him. I like the storyline. I like the fact that he was around JB when JB was a kid, and he has his relationship with Rick Brunson. I love that, he has this relationship with Leon and all that. But I don't know about this guy. It's just little things that we all see as fans that he refuses to make changes around. And I get it. There may be data, advanced analytics, and different things of that sort that we don't have visibility to that could be backing why he goes with the things that he does, but he just does not experiment enough. I like that he experimented against the Lakers, but we're just not seeing it enough. And granted, yeah, this team is third in the East, but we're watching these games. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing what we saw last year, even though this team is quote unquote on paper better. We're just not seeing what we saw. The way we would win, the fashion and the way that we would win games and how we would dominantly win games. And if we didn't win games against contended teams, that was okay because we showed up. We never had to question whether our team would show up and play. And so far, we've had to do that on multiple key games. They embarrassed us in the NBA Cup game against Atlanta. They embarrassed us against OKC. They embarrassed us against Boston. They embarrassed us against the Cavs, who we eliminated just a few years ago. And I got Cavs fans talking to me crazy now. Like, oh, the Knicks have regressed. The Knicks, like, yo, it doesn't feel good.
Not at all.
Like, we're not optimistic about this team winning the championship. We're not optimistic, even though the playoffs are a month and some time away. Our spirits aren't high, and we deserve to have a high from this team. We went into the season looking forward to that. And I'll say this too. Mm-hmm. If we look at the games in November and sometime in December, this team looked like they were poised to go on a run. Mm-hmm. We saw it.
We got like a 7-game win streak, right? 7-8 game win streak, right? 7, 8 games.
Yeah, I mean, bro, the moment this team lost its identity that it was building was that OKC game where we played OKC on their floor and they came back and beat us. After that, we were never the same.
Second half of that third quarter, we lost composure, bro. We lost composure.
We were never the same after that. We never got back to playing that way.
One thing too, Darcy, on that, I think that what I hate, because I guess that Brunson and JB kind of, you could tell it got to them. They listening way too much to what these people on social media and, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, look, I don't mind you doing a podcast to me because, again, to me, if you're talking basketball, I love that. Keep doing, you're not going home and playing video games. You're talking, your mind is still in basketball. But when I heard them say, yeah, we got to do better versus, that's something you say internally. You don't go out there and show that, yeah, that got to us. Because now people you don't need these teams. I'm telling you, bro, every team that's out there, I have NBA TV. I see all the games. If I'm not on a Knicks game or whatever, I literally leave this thing on either soccer or basketball. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, teams that you think are tanking, they play up for the Knicks. I watch these games. I watch trash each and every night by you name it. For whatever reason, they get up for the Knicks. So I don't want this team to reveal anymore. I hope that if you talk about veteran leadership, maybe he's of the new school too, so he's not too old enough. But I hope if PJ Tucker goes out there and says, yo, guys, composure. When you guys are talking to the media, keep your head up. Don't let these guys have anything to gnaw at. Don't let them see y'all weaknesses. Yeah, we down, but you're not out. Don't ever make it. And you're in these games. You didn't get blown out by the Clippers. It wasn't a 30-point win. You were up by 8, 10, or whatever the hell it was. Keep your effing head up and stop listening to these people. They're not in the locker room. That's what I love about the old school. I know I'm an old head, whatever you want to call me. But one thing I love about the old school locker rooms is that they never let that ish get to them. In fact, even though I hate this team, the Patriots, they would take what you said about them and use it as fodder. Oh, you said you're gonna win the Super Bowl against us? Locker room fodder. You said you're gonna catch us? Locker room fodder. That's the mindset, yo. All we got is us. We all wolves. We have nothing to lose. F everybody else. F the world. But going out there and emoting that, oh yeah, man, yo, that run got us by. No! Forget about it. Okay, you lost. Forget about it. I forget who said it the other day. They were like, yo, bro, yeah, after a bad game, I just forget about it. It doesn't stay with me. And Darcy, I swear on my life, you said the same thing I was about to freaking say, that OKC game. Before that game, the Knicks are being talked about, even after we had the most multifaceted offense. Makai was cooking, OG was cooking, Jalen Brunson was cooking, Cat was doing a lot better than I saw him with the Wolves, even though his numbers weren't astronomically different. We got to get back to that mindset that we're that good. Not necessarily that we're gonna get back to Jake. I'm saying that we have to go to the mindset that we've been ballyhooed for a reason. We were hitting shots before. We were beating teams before. Like, what happened?
I don't know if they got to go back and watch film from during that time. I don't know if they've done that because it's like, bro, even offensively, we still have the same starting lineup. And this starting lineup does not look anywhere near how they did in November and December. And there are other factors in there, right? Because the season is just starting. Teams are still establishing their own identity. So, teams may not be defending you as well as they can. So, yeah, we're further on into the season. But I also feel like part of it is it's these guys' belief system. When you end up not beating teams like OKC, when you end up not beating teams like Cleveland and Boston, and you do start the question in your head, hey, are we really good enough? Do we have enough to get it done this year? And you can say all you want, yeah, we got enough in this locker room, but you have to really believe that. And right now, this team does not play.
Well, like how about this? When you're playing against the Celtics and they go on a 6-0 run, how about the next shot you take down in possession, Cat? It's not a long three. Like, yo, bro, not this last Celtics game. The one before that, we got mollywopped. If you go back to the game when the Celtics were making a run, I saw like Mikal Bridges was driving. No one did a rebound. Our team is not even back yet. Driving and then just jack up a shot. I'm like, yo, bro, what the like? We panic for when we don't even have. We're still in the game and we panic. We do weird-ish. This is where Tibbs. This is where Brunson needs to step up. And for all you guys, I'm not complaining about the Cat trade no more. It is what it is. But when I watch Cat, I watch a talented, but still a young, precocious kid. He's not even young anymore. He's a grown-ass man. But when I watch him, I don't feel a sense of, when I watch the big men of this league, bro, when I watch Jokic, and you make an 8-0 run against the Nuggets, you tied the game, you up by 5, you up by 10, I see Jokic always get the ball. He has a purpose to slow the game down, to stop your rhythm. Joel Embiid, when he was healthy, would do the same thing. But Joel Embiid's always fishing for fouls. I need to see that by Cat. We talk about maturity. We talk about all this production. I need to see that by Cat. In these games, bro, if JB's not there, or in the games I just mentioned before prior, your man Cat is acting like he did with the Wolves. Get the ball and just jack it up. That's one of the differences too. Go back to before. I'll probably look up the stat now. Cat is taking a lot more threes. And I remember people on social media, all these guys with content creators, they know things on the Knicks, this, blah, blah. Oh, I got to see Cat take more threes. No, you don't. My bad, guys. I got to change my camera. Cat taking threes does not necessarily make the offense better. When Cat is attacking a basket, when Cat is in a post, drawing fouls, finding guys on the outside once the defense collapses on him, bro, that's when the offense is the most dangerous. I need to see that. Like, Darcy, bro, I pray this team gets back to understanding that they are that good. When I see things like, for instance, I got mad at this, and I got into a whole argument on Twitter. Of course, Twitter's a freaking cesspool. But some people try to say, the Lakers are... Don't do that, because when the Grizzlies were number 2 and we beat them twice, no one said anything. No one said, the Knicks could beat their league teams. Now people want to say, they can't beat the Lakers are up there too. They're elite teams, blah, blah, blah. Well, right now the Lakers are in 3rd. Or at least we're in 3rd before the games today. Which would make us 2-2 versus the so-called teams on the Western Conference. The top 2 teams that we're so-called elite against. So it's all media narrative-ish, bro. When I see Kendrick Perkins talking about, JB and Cat got to play defense, but JB's actually trying his ass off on defense, pause. No one says it. So, these guys got to tune these guys out, bro. I don't care about ESPN. I don't care about none of these guys talking about our players, bro. These guys got to have that self-confidence about themselves and feel like they can do it. Feel like you said, everything you said, Darcy, I agree with. But, yeah, bro.
I mean, I look at it like this. In April, we played the Cavs twice. And, again, I don't know at what point we're going to start resting players for the playoffs, because the playoffs start on the 19th of April. But we played Cleveland and we played Boston one more time. And the reality is when you go into these games, what are you going to do? One, you need to have that final roster spot filled. And hopefully you get a good impact player with that roster spot. I don't know if that's going to be PJ Tucker. I don't know what we're going to do. You can't cut DeLon Wright for the fans in. Oh, cut DeLon Wright. He's on a guaranteed contract, so you're not going to free up any cap space by getting rid of him. But you might as well have kept Jericho in hindsight. Because, yeah, I mean, you traded for DeLon Wright, and I don't know how much value he has on the bench. So yeah, man, I think we need TJ Warren. We need a guy that can give us some offense off the bench because I'm not sure our starters are going to have it. And if they don't have it, we can't just expect JB to put up 60. You know, and I expect Josh Hart to raise his game come playoff time. But I think your X factor is going to be Mikal Bridges. What is Mikal Bridges going to give you come playoff time? He put up 23 points against Boston when he played them as a net in the playoffs. Can he get anywhere? Can he give you 80 to 90% of that form? Because you're going to need it if you're trying to win a championship. And forget against just Boston. The Pistons are not just going to lay down. We're going to have to put them down. And that's not going to be an easy task. You got a guy like Malik Beasley when he's on. If you're not putting pressure on him and we're not defending the three, we're going to be in trouble. So we can't even look past them and look forward to Boston. No, you need to make sure you can beat the damn Pistons, which you should be able to, especially when you get Mitch back, because Mitch is going to kill Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Dunn. No question. So I'm not really worried about that. They out-rebounded us when we played them. First game, we spanked them. Second game, we had no Karl Anthony Towns. The last game, we did have Towns back, but they took it to us. So, yeah, like I said, I'm relying on Mitchell Robinson getting in the rhythm over these next couple of weeks and ramping up for playoff time. I'm hoping with this last roster spot, we actually get a piece we need. I don't think that the team is going for Moses. And the reason why is because, one, there's a reason why he has not been able to stick in the league. Defensively, this guy is too slow. He's another Karl Anthony Towns on the defensive end. He can get some putbacks and he can rebound the ball. But if you're looking for rim protection, he's not really giving you that at a high level. And I think the team probably knows. I'm pretty sure they're in constant communication with doctors on Ariel Haporti's status. If you're confident you're going to get Ariel Haporti back by the time the playoffs start or the first round, then you don't really need to go and make a panic move by giving that last roster spot to another center. You don't need to give that to Moses Brown. You need to go ahead and give that to TJ Warren and get this guy in here on your bench as an insurance piece if any of your players who you're relying on for offense can't go. What happens?
How about Chuma then?
No, I don't trust him offensively.
Yeah, but you need the defense as well too, right? If you talking
about TJ again, I'm not too worried about the defense. I'm worried about us scoring the ball. There are too many.
Fifth in the league in scoring, bro. Our scoring is actually fine.
I'm not. I don't care what the numbers say. I'm looking at the eye test.
I look at the eye test too, and the defense, the offense is our offense late in games really only struggles because we can't get stops.
But
go ahead.
Mitchell Robinson, again, I'm banking on that when Mitchell Robinson is fully in rhythm, that's going to improve. But I don't see there being a player that we're rumored to get that's going to significantly improve us on the defensive end. And when I'm looking at these Knicks games, there are crucial stretches where we need a quick two and we can't get it. We're struggling to get to the rim, but Kyle's taking tough mid-ranges and breaking them, or we settle for a three-point shot that doesn't go in. And I'm seeing that in too many games. You need to be able to get a quick tool. You need easy plays. You can't have to work for your offense all the time. And you need a guy that if the offense is stagnant, he can break down the defense and get you that tool. And that's what TJ Warren can do. And that's going to help us stay in games when we're not shooting the three ball well.
I hope so, because again, TJ Warren has been in the league for a while after post these injuries, and he hasn't looked great. Now, G League is a different story. So, as much as I would like TJ Warren as well too offensively. God put it with a grain of salt that G League speed, NBA speed are two different things. Now, granted, you hope he's just playing against second units, but I hope TJ Warren's the guy. But our defense. Look, Chuma, and I'm not even the biggest fan of Chuma. I'm just saying, just defensively, just have that type of wing to go out there and get some stops. Is probably just disappointing. He's trying to score in the fourth quarter. Go ahead.
We've seen minutes from him before. I haven't seen anything from him that has made me feel impressed about him. TJ Warren, like I said, is a veteran. He scored at a high level throughout this league before. He still wants to win the championship. And again, you see him in the G League. Granted, it's the G League, but you can tell just the way he's scoring the ball, he can at least come to the Knicks and give you 10 points at minimum off the bench. With no question, he can give you 10. And we don't have anybody like that who's guaranteed every game off the bench can give us 10 points. We don't have it. Campaign, not every game. Miles McBride, not every game. Landry Shamet, not every game. Precious, definitely not every game. We don't have it. Like I don't know. Like I said, on paper, this bench sounded like it would be good because you can stagger McCall with them, but McCall is not even giving you what you need offensively, and he has not looked good enough next to Shamet and Payne. And these guys are not even getting enough 3-point shots. We're like statistically. We're not getting off enough 3-point shots. When you look at how many shots we're taking next to against the Cavs versus how much they're taking against us versus how many the Celtics are taking against us, these teams are killing us. They're getting off way more 3-point shots than we are. You need guys that can break down a defense, spray the ball, help keep the ball moving fast. And if you can't, and again, how many times have we wasted possessions with dribbling the ball? Teams start doubling JB. JB passes to Josh Hart. Josh Hart is hesitant to score. Now he's rushing to get the ball to somebody else. Boom, shot clock violation. We're seeing that way too much. Way too much. It's unacceptable for this team that has this much talent. Why are you struggling to get it easy too? How many? We cut the lead against Boston in both of those games and could not stay in it. And yeah, it's defense that's an issue too. But you also, if the game is within 3 points, you should be able to. It shouldn't belong to 20 points. That's not just defense. That means you can't score.
But also too, yes. But that was also because your man Tatum went and we had no answer defensively. Like I know what you're trying to say, and I agree with you. But sometimes, like even yesterday, I'm watching the Lakers game, right? The Lakers were coming back, right? Lucas hitting all these big shots. But they were able to get some big stops, the Celtics, right? And it wasn't every time they're coming down, they were hitting shots themselves. But when you get big stops, bro, on key players, like I just don't know how to weigh that. To weigh that and just say, oh, yeah, nah, it's scoring. I just think that at times you need defense. I think Tibbs 2 times, he gets super stubborn, doesn't want to change defensively. We've seen it get a lot better when he changed against the Heat, where he switched McCall away from Tyler Hero and put OG on him. That was smart. So a lot of times about getting defensive stops, bro. I'm hoping TJ Warren can be that guy, but again, TJ Warren, he played for the Nets. He played for several teams after the Pacers, and he didn't look great. So when we talk about just getting a bucket, again, it's G League. Guys ain't closing out as they should. It's just the NBA's a faster and a quicker game. So, yeah.
This is a guy who, at the end of the day, he's averaged 20 in the league. He's a real vet.
Years ago, though, bro.
Again, but I'm saying at the same time, he can give you 10 points. He can give you 10 points that in the span of him giving you 10 points, JB can get rest. Towns can get rest. Somebody who's hot can get rest. Mm-hmm. That's all you need. You just need a guy that can come off the bench and carry your offense for a couple of plays. I'm not saying anything crazy, but we just don't have that. When you look at the Celtics, even when you take them out of rhythm and they're not shooting threes, you know what they do? They have simple plays that they can run to keep points coming on the board. You look at Tatum, Tatum's going to get to that damn rim. Tatum is going to get to the rim. And that I love that because that's what I liked about RJ Barrett. And Tatum is the same way. Get to that rim, get that tool. Get the N1, keep putting pressure on the rim. You don't have that. You just don't have it. I'm not seeing it on this team. Karl Anthony Towns was kind of taking on that role, but teams have figured out how to defend him by putting smaller players on it. And again, it all started when we played OKC. They put Jalen Williams on Towns, and it seemed like after that he was never the same. I don't know what it is.
Well, we also stopped. We stopped kind of going to Towns in that game, if you remember. Like we actually like really didn't go to him enough.
We honestly we've stopped going to Towns. Period, bro. Thibs needs to figure out how to get Karl Anthony Towns inserted into this offense. I don't know about this, bro.
Because they like doing that stupid ass 5-out offense, bro. They like that. That's also on Tibbs too. I get tired of seeing Cat just utilized as a big ass wing, bro. Get his ass in the most they put him in a post now is a little when he posts up at the foul line or right above the foul line, and he plays kind of like the handoff type of guy, and then he'll attack, which is fine. But get his ass in the bro. Go back to some old school concepts, man. I'm not saying it's easy, but put like this, bro. If I put Cat in a post, just him backing down a player, they're gonna send doubles at him. That means somebody is open. I've seen last game. Damn, I forget who it was exactly. There was they said somebody had the ball up top, but it ended up being a situation where I'm like, yo, there's somebody free. Somebody free's open because of how they doubled Cat or somebody. I forget who it was exactly. But in a situation where we had the ball at the top of the key, so you can't really pass to the guy who's open because it'll just get intercepted. It's intercepted. There's no good vantage points to really make the pass to the open guy. But if I have Cat in that, think of what Randall did last year. If I have Cat in a situation where I'm in a low post and they throwing doubles at me, you know how many open looks McBride, McCall, OG is gonna get? That's how I get these guys these open looks, but we don't do that. We just play this read and react. Oh, he's a big ass wing. He'll figure it. Like, nah, bro. Like, get his ass in a post. Go old school. Even run some triangle concepts. Two-man looks. 3 guys on the other side, moving and screening on the weak side. Then you pass it back if you don't have the option there on the 2 side with Cadden and another Cameron Payne, another ball handler. Like Tibbs has the solutions, but I actually think he gives these guys a little bit too much control in the offense, and I think it's what's making our offense look unprepared when teams make their runs on us when we're late in games and we don't have JB, we don't have that go-to guy. Now we don't have any simple concepts to run. Like, bro,
I like David Smith's comment. Knicks are 20-2 this year when they get at least 30 assists. Ball movement is key to the Knicks' success. However, Thibs and Brunson not sticking to what works. I don't think it's that JB isn't sticking to what works. I think a lot of the times, if you look at it, especially when we start games, we're not starting the game well. And when JB is not looking to be aggressive on the offensive end and he's trying to facilitate, you got guys like Mikal who's taking the mid-range or taking the 3 and breaking it. And then guess what? Because we can't get stops, now this other team is knocking down the 3. Now, if you look at it, the Knicks have the worst luck with three-point shooting team. We're an average three-point team in terms of defense, but teams are making the most threes against us. It's not even that our defense in defending the 3 has been bad. They're making more threes against us. If you look at the luck statistic for three-point shooting, we have the worst luck. Teams are shooting the best against us, even though we have average three-point defense. So at the end of the day, if teams are shooting the ball at a high clip against us and are getting off more threes than us, then you can't afford to be missing the threes that you do take. And so when JB's trying to get everybody involved and these guys are not scoring, now he has to take matters into his own hand because we're trying to fight back and get in the game. Now JB has to put a quick 6 points on the board now before you know it, the offense is being ran through him now. So it's not like he isn't trying to rely on these guys and get them going. He is, but you have again, people want to say, "Oh, well, we shouldn't keep singling out Macau." No, he's not making the shots when we need him to make them, and it's been a lot of games where that's been the case. You need Dante. Say what you want about Dante. When we needed Dante to make that three, he was water. Dante was going to hit key shots, bro. When we were going on runs, Dante was going to knock down a key three. McBride was going to knock down a key three. These are guys who are going to consistently do that for us. Dudes. Like, bro, Macau is not that. And he has some games where he is, but it's not enough. And then the mid-range is not, it's not as efficient as a three-point shot.
It's not, but a point is a point. Put like this, bro.
He's not making them, bro.
He's making his mid. Oh, he's actually shooting fine from the mid range. It's just
what's his mid range percentage? If it's not
I'm pretty sure it's mid to high 40s. Hold on, I'll check right
now.
No,
I need 50s. I need 50s.
Yeah, but mid to high 40s is actually if I recall, is actually elite. Mid to high 40s.
Because how many players still shooting mid range shots like that?
Your top players are shooting mid range shots like that.
Wow, bro. It's a lot of players.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah, you know your best players, the best players in the league, hold up, are still shooting mid-range shots. Why is this? Oh, clean the glass is freaking annoying. Mikal Bridges shooting mid-range accuracy.
No, the mid-range shot is not as popular as it once was in basketball. As the game has shifted towards prioritizing three-point shooting due to its higher point value. Meaning most teams now actively discourage taking mid-range shots unless a player has a very high-quality look at the basket from that area.
Yes. Okay, thank you for – I know that. Yes, and you know what ruined that? Advanced Analytics said that the mid-range shot is obsolete, which is stupid because if I'm able to hit the mid-range shot better than, say, the three, and I'm talking about the disparity in terms of I shoot better near or above average from the mid-range shot versus shoot above near average from the three – and I'm out on the floor, I should probably take the mid-range shot. But because of advanced analytics, it's telling everybody either attack the rim or shoot the. But if a team is giving me mid-range shots and I can make them and I can rebound, I can defend adequately, I'm taking. By the way, Mikal Bridges actually is shooting 51% from mid-range this season, which ranks in the 86th percentile. So
I'll give him his credit for that. But my whole point is, when we actually need him to get us a bucket, he's not doing it.
How about this? Let's not
if you're not impacting winning.
How about this? How about you set screens for? Here's what we think. Here's what we think Macau should be doing: taking a guy off the dribble and attacking the back. That's not his game. That's never been Macau's game.
He's scared of contact.
But that's never been his game, though. His game has never been.
Listen, bro. This is why you need to get RJ Barrett back. Give me RJ, bro. Give me RJ.
Now y'all want my son back. Now y'all want my son back.
RJ at this point. Because RJ going to get to that rim and take the contact. He going to play with some fire under him. Like, bro, I'm sorry.
Now y'all want my son back. Now y'all want my son back. Y'all killed RJ for years. I don't want to hear this. Y'all killed RJ for years. I don't want to hear this. It's a new day, a new regime. Y'all want RJ back? Nope. Y'all killed RJ every time because he can't shoot. Oh, because he can't do this. I heard, suit to Nick G, this dude said 48 was a better playmaker than RJ. I heard every insult on RJ Barrett. It was only me and Hadouken sitting up here defending to do the same. Be patient. He's in an offense with Randall. When he has a ball in his hands as a primary playmaker, he's excellent. The 46-point game against the Heat, he can do it. No, RJ this. No, RJ's never going to be this. No, RJ's Evan Turner. Now people want RJ Barrett back. No. Until, I'm not saying you, Darcy, but until a lot of y'all naysayers out there that said I was wrong on RJ Barrett say, you know what, G-Mo, you were right. I don't want to hear about no damn RJ Barrett. Because I hear You're not riding this. I've gotten so many damn freaking draft picks right, and I'm not even talking about RJ Barrett because I was a John Morant guy, and I get no credit. Nick G. Hopefully Nick G is watching. I'm only trolling, but I don't want to hear no damn RJ Barrett. Let RJ Barrett enjoy Toronto, even though there are rumors that they want to trade off RJ Barrett. If you follow Toronto Raptors news, they want to trade RJ Barrett now, but nope. Let's work with what we got here because I complain about RJ Barrett not being a good shooter. All right, now we got a shooter here. Let's try to make create plays to get him better shots, which means more pick and roll. Which, if you go back to the Clippers game, 8 for 12, about 3-4 of his possessions were him attacking off of screens, and he looked damn good. He looked damn good. I'm just saying, bro, we have to and this is on Tibbs, manufacture the space. We have a team that I don't even see. When JB was healthy, I wasn't seeing JB and Karl-Anthony Towns run the pick and roll. And we did a whole video on them being the best pick and roll tandem in the league. They don't even run it enough. That's on Tibbs. That's on the players too. That's on Tibbs. I'm telling you, this squad, even without JB, to try to hold it down, there's so many avenues we could go, but you got to manufacture plays. You got to manufacture the space. Cat needs to be setting as many screens as possible. This is one thing I love about Huck Purdy. Whenever Huck Purdy was in a game, this dude was throwing 10,000 screens. You didn't have to tell him. As soon as he comes down the court, comes right back to the guard, sets a screen, creates space for him. So when you talk about Tyler Kolek, who's not particularly tall, not particularly strong per se, he's a heavy pick and roll guy. If you watch him in college, heavy pick and roll guy. Summer League, heavy pick and roll guy. We have to run that. That's Cat. That's Josh even. That's Tibbs. We have it here. We just have to run it and execute it. We can sit up here and talk about TJ Warren. We can sit up here and talk about Chuma. We can talk about Moses Brown. We can talk about PJ Tucker. But we have enough good players that Tibbs, if we change execution or change how we do things and execute on it, we'll beat these teams 6 points, 8 points, 10 points a game. A lot of these teams are not even playing us that tough. The Clippers didn't play us particularly tough. Kawhi Leonard was missing shots. All those guys were missing shots. We just come down and just say, we're down. Now they made a run. Try to create, do something. No screens called. Now I got to see Mikal try to drive and draw. That's not his game. That's never been his game. So it is what it is. But yo, Darcy, my brother, man, I appreciate you, man. I got to appreciate you tomorrow. I got to prepare for. But I appreciate you, Darcy, bro. Any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Yeah, man, we got to just figure something out. It's going to be a crucial stretch these next 2 weeks 3 weeks without JB. It's going to tell us a lot about what we have in this team if JB can't play, right? Because, at the end of the day, going into the playoffs, if any one of these guys goes down, God forbid, who step up? Who can step up? Who can give you points, right? Because these guys are already struggling to give you points as is healthy. So, again, this is why you need a guy like TJ Warren, somebody that can give you some offense, elite level offense, a 3-level scorer that can give you something. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact PJ Tucker has on this team. I know they said he didn't practice today. So I don't know if that contract will start tomorrow, and if he'll be with the team tomorrow. That'll be interesting to see. I doubt he plays, but it would be nice to get him on with the team as soon as possible, and see if we notice something on the court that'll be done differently. And I guess Tibbs will probably be looking to see his impact in practice, and maybe even on the court, you got to put him out there so players can see. One, you got to get a look at him. So you got to put him out there. Mm-hmm. If you're going to consider signing him and giving him that final roster spot. But, yeah, man, I hope we need to see how Miles McBride responds. I want to see who's going to step up offensively. I like OG's aggressiveness. He has to keep it going. But we need more from Towns. Towns has just not been that second option. We need more from him. And I'm in a crossroads between thinking that maybe this team is just ready for the playoffs. Like I don't think we're going to see this team play their best until playoff time. When it's win or go home.
if this was if this was say the Celtics, where you've had years of these guys playing alongside each other, I would agree with you, Darcy. But I don't see that, bro. I know what you mean. Where it's like, yo, just get me to like we've done this before, right? You get that with championship teams who've won championships, and it's just they like the Warriors, right? Of yesteryear, a few of some years ago. We've been through this. We know what to do. We're tired of regular season, so we're going a 5 game losing streak near the end of the season. But nah, I don't know, Darcy. I don't know about that. But we'll see, my brother, man. I appreciate you, bro. Next game is tomorrow at 10. Ugh, these late games are terrible. So I'll try to do something post game. But last game was terrible, bro. I just probably should have done a post game. But yo, I will see you guys on the on the next one. Probably not the cat doing a 10:15, 10:30 game. I can't do it because I got to wake up early for work. But I appreciate you guys, man. Darcy, my brother, peace, Loop. I see you on the next one, man. For you guys in the chat, man, I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace, Luke. God bless. We out. Peace, 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 peace.